Hello, my name is Ruben Torres. I'm the fire engineer here at Station 8, and today I'm going to show you the Type 1 fire engine. Come check it out. So for this Type 1 fire apparatus, the overall height is 9 feet, 8 inches. The length is 31 feet, 5 inches. The Type 1 fire apparatus responds to a wide variety of calls within the city, be it fires, medical response, vehicle accidents, hazardous materials, flooding. We pretty much cover it all. The reason the Type 1 fire engine is the most frequently seen out of any other type of apparatus is not only because it responds to a wide variety of calls, but because we have the capability to extinguish fires by carrying 500 gallons of water, as well as a number of different sizes of hoses to extinguish them. Every Type 1 fire apparatus has 4 crew members. We have the captain, the engineer, the firefighter, and the firefighter paramedic, and every one of us has a critical role. As the fire engineer of this station, this apparatus is my responsibility. So I'm responsible for making sure that we have all the supplies that we need, all the tools that are required for emergency scenes are there, as well as knowing my first due area, which is our response area, and being able to safely drive my crew to any emergency scene. Seated to my right is the fire captain. Some of the many responsibilities that a fire captain has are helping navigate to the scene, sizing up the emergency, and coming up with a plan of attack in order to ensure the safety of the crew as well as the citizens. Seated behind me is the firefighter. Their main focus on fires is to pull the hose line and extinguish the fire. On medical calls, their main focus is to assist the paramedic in ensuring that they have all the tools needed to save a life. Also seated behind me, next to the firefighter, is the paramedic, who dual roles as a firefighter assisting the other partner in extinguishing fires, but also utilizing their paramedic skills on emergency scenes. As I mentioned before, one of the main functions of a Type 1 fire engine is fire suppression. For that, we carry different hose lines depending on the type of fire. So here in the back of the fire engine, we carry the majority of our fire hose. Here, what we have is our 5-inch with the Storts connection. The reason that we have 5 inches, it's what we use to supply from the fire hydrant into the fire pump. On this fire engine, we carry 800 feet in the back here. And the reason that we carry so much is there are times where in trailer parks or different rural areas where a fire hydrant is not nearly very near to the fire engine, so it's not accessible to us. So we have a lot of it on all of our engines in order to connect them in the event that we need more hose. Also in the back of the fire engine, we have 800 feet of 3-inch and 600 feet of 2.5. The 3-inch is also a supply line that we use. You'll find in operations where an aerial stream is being utilized, a lot of times the truck companies will prefer having 3-inch supply them rather than a 5-inch storage connection. So with the 2.5, we have 600 feet of what we would call attack line. This is what we utilize for big fires. So in the event that there's a warehouse fire or multiple structures that are threatened, we're going to be pulling this line in order to protect those structures because this will provide a large amount of water. In addition to our larger diameter hose lines, we also have specialized hose lines for wildland firefighting. Here we have our 1 and 1.5 inch hose lines, as well as our Pondosa packs, which firefighters are able to strap to their backs. The reason that we use wildland hose as opposed to the larger hose is because it's lighter for firefighters and easier to climb up hills and things like that. Another piece of equipment that we have on the fire engine is our deck gun, also known as a monitor or a deluge. Circumstances where we might use this would be very large warehouse fires where we know we're going to be in a defensive operation and we need lots of water. Depending on the tip size is how much water we get. So it can go anywhere from 500 GPM to 1,000 GPM. So what we have here is a Hale 2-stage pump that's rated at a capacity of 1,500 gallons per minute. So what you're looking at is all the different discharges, which would be how we get water to the hose line. What we also have is our main intake, which is a 5-inch connection, as well as a 2.5 suction line in the event that we need to use a smaller line for that. An example of how this all works together would be we pull up to a fire and the firefighters would get out, they would select the hose line that they want. Once they have the hose line, they pull it to the desired location and then they call for water. Once they call for water, my job as the fire engineer would be to give them water and set to the appropriate pressure. Once the pressure is set, my next job would be to find a water supply, such as a fire hydrant. The next time a fire breaks out in the city of San Jose, I guarantee you'll see a Type 1 fire engine on scene. We're an all-risk fire department. No matter what happens, we have the tools and training to respond to any emergency and to keep the community safe. Until next time, thanks for watching.